Let's take a look at advanced filtering options. So if we go into the Other tab in the Modify Report window, you can see this brings up additional filtering options. And these can be used in conjunction with all the filter options on the Filter tab. So telephone numbers moved to. You'd want to include this option if you wanted to return call data in a report where calls have been moved to a specific external number. And similar, moving down, the devices moved from allows you to filter on calls that have moved from a specific device or multiple devices. And the same principle goes for the ACD agent. You can return call data where calls have come from a specific ACD agent. Now we get on to being able to filter by call segment. To best demonstrate this, I'm going to bring up a historic call list. And we can see that a single call can comprise of many segments, each segment of a call representing a different step in that particular call's lifetime. So a call may consist of any number of segments, a new segment being recorded every time something happens to that call, such as it gets transferred or overflowed from a group or moved from an auto attendant. So what we're able to do is filter on a specific segment. So for example, you may only want to return call data on the very first segment or the very last segment. So for example, if I wanted to know how many people hung up whilst in my auto attendant, what I could do is build a calls by day report, filter it on that specific auto attendant, and I just wanted to count the calls where the last segment happened in the auto attendant. That being where somebody is hung up whilst in the auto attendant. Then moving down, can also filter segments on a more detailed basis. So not only can we report and filter on which segment, we can also filter on the start reason for that segment. So just show me segments where calls overflowed or got diverted. So this filter option allows you to look at why a particular segment ended, as opposed to why it started. Then moving down, we can start filtering reports and call records on durations. So for example, show me all the calls that rang for longer than 20 seconds or less than 20 seconds. And again, you can use any of these filter options in conjunction with any other filter options to build a really detailed report. The first duration filtering we have is ring time distribution, and that is the aggregated time that that call rang throughout its duration. And we can also report the same on a per segment basis. So in this report, show me the segments that rang longer than 30 seconds. So using these filters, you're able to build up a picture of how calls progress through the system. And the same goes for call talk time. You can return call records where the talk time has exceeded or not met a certain threshold. And finally, you can also filter on call held times. So for example, you could generate a report to say, show me all the calls where customers were put on hold for longer than 2.5 minutes. And again, because you can apply these filters to any report, that can be on a per agent, per extension, per day basis, per number, pretty much whatever you want. And as always, if you want more information at what you're looking at, if you press F1, this will bring you the context-related help section.